What bothered you about what was happening in this case?
Well, for one, they're perverting the Voting Rights Act, which was a law designed to break down barriers to the ballot box, these intentional barriers, and to make the voting process open to everybody. Well, what this administration has done is turned it into a political weapon, where they see if the Democrat Party suffers from a particular election law, that they then cloak it in the mantle of racial discrimination, use this very important civil rights law, and they attempt to extract political advantage using the federal courts. They use concocted evidence, ridiculous evidence. Black turnout actually increased in the 2014 election under these draconian laws they're challenging. So it's an exercise of federal power using millions of taxpayer dollars to basically obtain a political end.
In one sense, the way that your piece at National Review Online described it was the Obama administration would turn the Voting Rights Act into a one-way ratchet to help Democrats. How so?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Is they're basically saying that anything, any law, any change, any election practice that might have an impact on blacks in a statistically infinitesimal greater amount than it does on whites is somehow a violation of federal civil rights laws, and the federal government has to clamp down on North Carolina. What they're really doing when they adopt that radical theory, because that's not the law right now, when they adopt that radical theory, if you have racial polarization rates among black voters like you do in North Carolina, 95%, what you're essentially doing is creating a one-way ratchet for the Democratic Party using civil rights laws. Using laws that were meant to level the playing field are actually now being used to give a partisan advantage to one ideological partisan wing of the spectrum.